All right, so we're out here at the Big Green Egg, and we're ready to put our tri-tip right on the grate. We've got our probe thermometer in there, and what we're doing now is going to cook a little low and slow, about 250 degrees in that range, until we reach an internal temperature of 115. Then we're going to crank those temps up to 500, 600 degrees and do a nice reverse sear. Just for a few minutes, so that when we get complete there, we'll have a perfect medium rare in the center, just like we're always looking for. So we'll check back on it in a few. Okay, so we're back out at the grill. We were inside prepping artichokes, and unbeknownst to me, the alarm hit our target goal of 115, but we're only at 120, so we're still within our range. We're gonna go ahead now, and first thing we're gonna do is shut off that alarm. So we're gonna just go ahead and take our tri-tip. And you don't have to do this step, but I'm gonna give it a try. My local butcher didn't have any butcher paper on hand necessarily, and neither did I, but he did have these single sheets. So he was gracious enough to share those with me. I'm just gonna take those, wrap our tri-tip in it, and just let it rest inside there and let that steam stay and kind of help just love on it while we finish up the rest of our meal. Just kind of loosely wrapped for now is fine. And we'll set it over in our aluminum pan and just let it sit while we finish our next steps. All right, we are back out at the Big Green Egg, and we are ready to sear our tri-tip that we did on a low and slow cook earlier, about 250 degrees to an internal temperature of 115. We've now cranked our temperature, as you'll see here. It's dropped a little since we opened it, but it was just at 500 degrees. And it's okay if it even gets up to 650. You know, we're looking for high heat to sear the outside of that while we leave the inside at a nice mid-rare temperature. So we're going to let it rock here for 4 to 5 minutes. Then we're going to flip it, give it another 4 to 5 minutes on the other side so we get a nice char on both sides. And then we're going to pull it and let it rest while we finish assembling the rest of the meal. And when we slice into it, it should be a nice perfect medium rare, just the way we want it. So we'll see you in just about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes since we put our tri-tip on the Big Green Egg at 500 degrees. And if you look here, you can see that since then, the temperature has creeped up to about 550. So we're gonna go ahead and do a flip now. And so let's see what we've got on the other side. I'm as anxious as you are. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful char. That looks great. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're gonna go for about 4 minutes on the other side and pull it. Last time out to the egg. Here's our tri-tip. It's been on for another 5 minutes here on the other side. We seared this side first, obviously, and flipped it. Now we're going to pull it off. Look at that nice char there. And we're going to wrap that and let it rest while we finish preparing the remainder of the meal. I'm going to slice into it and see what we've got. We're hoping for a nice medium rare. We shall see. And here we are in the kitchen with our tri-tip that we've been working on this afternoon. Real quick, the tri-tip comes from basically the bottom portion of the sirloin. And if you see here, the grain of the meat runs this way here, but it kind of takes a turn here in a different direction on this other portion of the muscle. So what a lot of folks do, and what I guess we'll do for today, since this is my first outing with a tri-tip, is they just separate it. And then that way you can cut across the grain with each portion of meat without getting confused. That way you're going to get the most tender bite. And so with that being said, let's look at what we got. We were shooting for a perfect medium rare all day, and it looks pretty darn good to me for our first attempt. I'm pretty pleased with that. I know I've noticed some things throughout the day that I might do differently the next time through, but that's pretty, that makes me pretty happy. So let's let's go ahead and cut. And one thing about the tri-tip is one end is typically thinner than the other end. So there's a little bit that might be more done than other portions of the cut. But if you've got people having dinner who have different tastes, you're standing a better chance of pleasing everyone that way. And oh wow, it's very tender as far as the slice. And look at that color. Look at the result there. All that nice juice, nice moisture in there.